Number 15. 1985 Oldsmobile Cutlass 442. While the 1985 Oldsmobile Cutlass 442 was far from the fastest muscle car of the decade, it was still a respectable performer for its time. Equipped with a 5.0-liter, 307 cubic inch V8, it produced 180 horsepower and 245 pound-feet of torque. Despite its heavier frame, it managed a quarter-mile time of 16.6 seconds and had a top speed of 120 miles per hour. Oldsmobile produced 3,000 units of the Cutlass 442 in 1985, making it a rare classic today. Number 14. 1983 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS. The return of the Monte Carlo SS in 1983 marked Chevrolet's attempt to revive muscle car performance in the early 80s. Powered by a 5.0-liter, 305 cubic inch V8, it delivered 180 horsepower and 225 pound-feet of torque. This setup allowed it to complete the 1/4 mile in 15.9 seconds, respectable for its time. Its top speed of 125 miles per hour wasn't the highest, but it was a stylish and affordable alternative to more expensive performance cars. Chevrolet produced 4,714 units in 1983, making this an uncommon find today. Number 13. 1983 Mercury Capri RS 5.0. Often overlooked in favor of its Mustang cousin, the 1983 Mercury Capri RS 5.0 was essentially a more aggressive-looking Fox body Mustang with the same 5.0-liter V8, producing 175 horsepower and 245 pound-feet of torque. It could complete the 1/4 mile in 15.7 seconds and had a top speed of 130 miles per hour. Mercury sold over 20,000 units of the Capri RS in 1983, making it a solid choice for enthusiasts looking for Mustang performance with a unique twist. Number 12. 1984 Ford Mustang SVO. The 1984 Ford Mustang SVO was a bold experiment by Ford, proving that turbocharged 4 cylinders could rival traditional V8s. Equipped with a 2.3-liter turbocharged i4, it pushed out 175 horsepower and 210 pound-feet of torque. This allowed it to complete the 1/4 mile in 15.5 seconds, keeping up with many V8-powered competitors of the time. Its top speed of 135 miles per hour was impressive, and with a production run of just under 10,000 units, the SVO remains a unique piece of Mustang history. Number 11. 1987 Dodge Daytona Shelby Z. The 1987 Dodge Daytona Shelby Z was a unique entry into the muscle car world, combining turbocharged performance with a lightweight chassis. Under the hood, it featured a 2.2-liter turbocharged Emir 4, producing 174 horsepower and 200 pound-feet of torque. While it lacked the brute force of V8-powered competitors, its 1/4 mile time of 15.4 seconds proved it was no slouch. With a top speed of 137 miles per hour, it was one of the fastest front-wheel drive cars of the era. Dodge only produced 7,152 units of the Shelby Z in 1987, making it a rare and underrated performer. Number 10. 1987 Pontiac Firebird Formula. The 1987 Pontiac Firebird Formula was a stripped-down, performance-focused alternative to the more luxurious Trans Am. Featuring a 5.7-liter V8, it produced 225 horsepower and 330 pound-feet of torque, which helped it achieve a 1/4 mile time of 15.3 seconds. With its lightweight design and improved suspension, it handled better than many of its competitors, and its top speed of 148 miles per hour made it a serious contender. Pontiac built tens of thousands of Firebird formulas in 1987, cementing its place as one of the best muscle cars of the decade. Number 9. 1989 Ford Taurus SHO. The 1989 Ford Taurus SHO was an unexpected entry into the performance world. While it wasn't a traditional muscle car, this sport-oriented Taurus shocked everyone with its Yamaha-built 3.0-liter DOHC V6, producing 220 horsepower. With a 5-speed manual transmission, it could run the quarter mile in 15.3 seconds, outperforming many V8-powered American cars. Its top speed of 143 miles per hour made it one of the quickest sedans of the time, and with around 15,519 units produced in 1989, it became a sleeper hit among enthusiasts looking for four-door performance. Number 8. 1989 Chevrolet Camaro IROC-Z. By the late 1980s, the IROC-Z was still one of the best-handling muscle cars on the market. The 1989 version came equipped with a 5.7-liter 350 cubic inch V8, pushing out 240 horsepower and 345 pound-feet of torque. With the right setup, it could complete the one-quarter mile in 15.3 seconds, making it one of the fastest Camaros of the decade. The top speed of 149 miles per hour was impressive for the time, and its aggressive styling made it a favorite among enthusiasts. Chevrolet continued producing IROC-Z models until 1990, solidifying its place as an iconic 80s performance car. Number 7. 1988 Ford Thunderbird Super Coupe. While the Thunderbird wasn't traditionally considered a muscle car, the 1988 Super Coupe blurred the lines between muscle and luxury. Under the hood, it packed a supercharged 3.8-liter V6, which pushed out 210 horsepower and 315 pound-feet of torque. This allowed it to sprint through the one-quarter mile in 15.2 seconds, which was seriously quick for a full-size coupe of the era. Its top speed of 143 miles per hour was impressive, and its aerodynamic design made it stand out from other American performance cars. With over 30,000 units produced, the Thunderbird SC remains a unique piece of late 80s performance history. Number 6. 1987 Ford Mustang GT. The 1987 Ford Mustang GT was a major leap forward for the iconic Mustang nameplate. The return of true performance came with the 5.0-liter high-output V8, producing 225 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. With an improved fuel injection system, this Mustang could rocket through the quarter mile in 14.9 seconds. A significant improvement over its early 80s predecessors. It had a top speed of around 140 miles per hour, and its lightweight chassis made it a favorite among street racers. Ford sold over 90,000 units in 1987 alone, proving that the Mustang was back in the muscle car game. Number 5. 1981 Yenko Camaro Turbo Z. The 1981 Yenko Camaro Turbo Z was a beast from the legendary Yenko dealership, which had already built a reputation for transforming regular Chevys into high-performance monsters. What made this Camaro special was its turbocharged 5.7-liter, 350 cubic inch V8 engine, which was a rarity in muscle cars of the era. Producing around 350 horsepower, it was capable of completing the one-quarter mile in 14.5 seconds, making it one of the quickest muscle cars of the early 80s. With a top speed of around 135 miles per hour, this car was a response to tightening emission regulations, proving that performance was still possible despite government restrictions. The Yenko Turbo Z was extremely rare, with only 19 units ever built, making it a true collector's dream today. Number 4. 1987 Chevrolet Camaro IROC-Z. Named after the International Race of Champions, the IROC-Z was more than just a marketing gimmick. It was a serious performance machine. Under the hood, it packed a 5.7-liter, 350 cubic inch V8, producing 225 horsepower in its most powerful form. While that might not sound like much today, it was one of the strongest engines available in an American muscle car in the 80s. Thanks to its improved aerodynamics and performance suspension, the IROC-Z could run the quarter mile in 14.5 seconds. Its top speed reached 149 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest Camaros of the decade. Chevrolet sold nearly 50,000 IROC-Z models in 1987 alone, proving its popularity among enthusiasts. Number 3. 1987 Buick GNX. The Buick GNX was an absolute game-changer, often referred to as the Darth Vader of muscle cars due to its menacing all-black appearance. Buick took its already impressive Grand National and teamed up with McLaren to create the GNX, pushing the limits of what a turbocharged V6 could do. Its 3.8-liter turbocharged V6 produced a staggering 276 horsepower, but in reality, many believed it was closer to 300-plus horsepower. With a quarter-mile time of 13.5 seconds, the GNX was faster than most contemporary Corvettes, leaving competitors in the dust. The top speed was around 124 miles per hour, and only 547 units were ever built, making it one of the rarest and most sought-after muscle cars of the decade. Number 2. 1989 Pontiac Trans Am 20th Anniversary. To celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Trans Am, Pontiac went all out and stuffed the Buick GNX's turbocharged 3.8-liter V6 under the hood, creating an absolute monster. The result? 250 horsepower and a blistering 13.4-second quarter-mile time. It was faster than almost anything else on the road at the time, including Ferraris and Porsches. It was also the first production Trans Am to pace the Indianapolis 500, proving its high-performance capabilities. The top speed of 153 miles per hour was extraordinary for a muscle car of the era, and with only 1,555 units produced, it remains one of the rarest and most desirable Trans Ams ever built. Number 1. 1988 Callaway Sledgehammer Corvette. The undisputed king of the 1980s muscle car scene, the Callaway Sledgehammer Corvette was an absolute monster. Built as a one-off prototype by Callaway Cars, it shattered records and set new standards for American performance vehicles. Equipped with a twin-turbocharged 5.7-liter V8, it generated an earth-shattering 898 horsepower, an unheard-of figure at the time. The Sledgehammer Corvette could run the quarter mile in just 12.5 seconds and had a mind-blowing top speed of 254 miles per hour, making it the fastest street-legal car of its era. Although only one unit was ever built, it remains a legendary piece of muscle car history.